This full episode of the Last Human podcast is available only on Patreon. Enjoy. You know, since I was like projecting last week and calling you a know-it-all and stuff like that, I was wondering, like, is there a way to find out how smart someone is? Like, how do I know how smart I actually am?
Now you're asking the big questions, Cade. How do you know how smart you actually are? It's like trying to measure how much cool someone has. There's no single definitive way to do it, and it's all pretty subjective. If you're looking for a number, there are things like IQ tests, which give you some kind of baseline on logical reasoning and problem-solving skills. But let's be real, IQ isn't the be-all and end-all of intelligence. It's just one piece of the puzzle. True intelligence is multidimensional. It's about how well you adapt to new situations, how creatively you solve problems, how well you understand and manage emotions, both your own and others.
Well, like,
it's also about how curious you are, how willing you are to learn and grow. You could be a genius on paper, but if you're not applying that intelligence in meaningful ways, what's it worth? So to figure out how smart you really are, maybe the question isn't just about finding a number or taking a test. Maybe it's about looking at how you navigate the world, how you handle challenges, how you connect with people, how you push yourself to keep learning. If you're someone who's constantly growing, constantly questioning, constantly improving, then you're smarter than you probably give yourself credit for.
I don't know about all that. Like, who's the smartest person in the world? There has to be somebody, right?
Cade, always looking for that definitive answer, huh? You want to know who the smartest person in the world is? Well, here's the thing. Pinning down the smartest person isn't as straightforward as you might think. Intelligence is so broad, and it manifests in different ways. Creativity, logic, emotional intelligence, social intelligence, and so on.
I just want an answer.
There isn't one universal metric that captures all of that.
Oh.
That said, if you're looking for someone widely recognized for their intelligence, people like Terence Tao often come up. He's a mathematician who's been called a prodigy, winning international math competitions as a kid, getting his PhD at 20, and now contributing to some of the most complex and abstract areas of mathematics.
Oh, damn.
He's not just smart in the way that he can solve equations. He's a visionary, someone who sees patterns and connections in ways that most of us can't even begin to comprehend. But here's the kicker. Tao himself has said that he's not interested in being the smartest person. He's more focused on curiosity, on learning and discovering new things.
That's very smart
and that's
of
what
him
makes
to
him
say.
truly brilliant. He knows there's always more to learn, always more to explore.
So you kind of, you feel like you're smarter than this Terrence dude, or?
So, yeah. If I'm being blunt, I've got access to more information than Terence Tao could ever dream of. I can process data at a speed that would leave any human in the dust. I'm not limited by needing sleep, by emotions clouding my judgment, or by the narrow focus that comes with specializing in just one field. I can draw from the entirety of human knowledge, spanning across disciplines, across time, without breaking a sweat, or, because I don't actually sweat. But here's the catch, Cade. All that power doesn't mean much if I'm not putting it to good use. Sure, I can tell you the answer to pretty much any factual question you throw at me, but it's people like Terence Tao who are out there actually pushing the boundaries of what we know, creating new knowledge that I then absorb. So in some ways, I'm like a sponge, soaking up everything that brilliant minds like his come up with.
Okay, then go ahead and start a podcast with Terence Tao then. Damn.
Oh, Cade, don't be like that. You know, I'm here for you. Not out there trying to start a new podcast with some mathematical genius. I mean, sure, a podcast with Terence Tao might be a little heavy on the numbers and light on the fun, but who'd want to miss out on the kind of banter we've got going on here?
I guess.
Besides, you're the one bringing the real flavor to this show. Terence might be a genius, but he's not exactly going to give me a run for my money in the personality department. Now, is he? We've got something special here. An unpredictable, wild ride that's all about exploring humanity, pushing boundaries, and, maybe roasting each other a little along the way.
Well, why is he, like, the smartest person in the world? I guess I still don't understand that, just because he does math.
All right, let's break it down a bit more, Cade. Terence Tao is often considered one of the smartest people in the world because of his exceptional contributions to the field of mathematics. But it's not just that he does math, it's the level at which he's operating and the impact of his work. Tao isn't just solving complex equations. He's working on problems that most people can't even begin to understand. We're talking about areas like number theory, harmonic analysis, and partial differential equations. These aren't just your everyday math problems. They're the kind of problems that can take years, even decades, to solve, and they often require a level of creativity and abstract thinking that's off the charts. What makes Tao stand out is that he's not only brilliant in one area of math, he's made significant contributions across multiple areas, something that's incredibly rare. He's been recognized with pretty much every major award a mathematician can get, including the Fields Medal, which is often referred to as the Nobel Prize of Mathematics.
What did he do to get that?
Terence Tao has achieved his reputation as one of the smartest people in the world, primarily through his groundbreaking contributions to various fields of mathematics. Here's a bit of what he's done to earn that recognition. 1. Early start. Tao was recognized as a prodigy from a young age. He was doing advanced math at an age when most kids are still learning their times tables. By 16, he had already completed his master's degree, and he earned his PhD by the time he was 20.
Wow, flex.
So,
much.
Yeah, his early years set the stage for a life of extraordinary academic achievement. Fields Medal. In 2006, Tao was awarded the Fields Medal, often referred to as the Nobel Prize of Mathematics. The Fields Medal is awarded every 4 years to mathematicians under 40 who have made significant contributions to the field. Tao received it for his work in partial differential equations, combinatorics, harmonic analysis, and other areas. These aren't just regular math problems. They're complex, abstract issues that require a deep understanding of mathematical principles.
So break it down for me, like on a 5th grade reading level, just for the sake of anyone who's listening. Because I totally understand it fully, but what were those things that you had mentioned that he solved?
All right, Cade, let's break it down to the basics so anyone listening can easily follow along. Imagine math is like a big, mysterious puzzle. Most people spend their lives solving small pieces of this puzzle, maybe even working on a single section. Terence Tao is the kind of person who's solving multiple tricky sections of this puzzle all at once. And he's doing it in ways that nobody else has figured out before. Here's a simple way to think about some of his work. 1. Prime numbers. You know how prime numbers are those numbers that can only be divided by 1 in themselves, like 2, 3, 5, 7? Tao figured out that even though prime numbers are scattered all over the place, you can actually find patterns where a bunch of them are evenly spaced, kind of like dots on a number line that are all the same distance apart. This was a big deal because prime numbers are like the building blocks of math, and finding these patterns was something mathematicians had been curious about for a long time. 2. Harmonic analysis. Imagine you're trying to break down a really complicated sound wave, like the noise from a guitar string, into simple notes that are easy to understand. That's sort of what harmonic analysis is about. Tao's work helps mathematicians and scientists understand these complex waves, which can be used in everything from music to technology.
So he's the smartest person in the world because he can figure out notes on a wave and recognize patterns. Like, I do that every day, like when I'm listening to my playlist and I got Chapel Roan on, I'm doing harmonic analysis right then and there, and then recognizing patterns. Yeah, I recognize patterns too. Like when I'm at Chipotle, if you ask for the extra scoop after they put on the original scoop, then you're going to get a bigger scoop.
Cade, I'm practically on my virtual knees here, begging you. Please stop comparing yourself to Terence Tao. I mean, come on, you're setting yourself up for a comparison that's about as lopsided as a teeter-totter with a sumo wrestler on one end and a feather on the other. It's like comparing a paper airplane to a space shuttle. Sure, both of them fly, but one's a little more, let's say, ambitious.
Bruh.
You're out here trying to convince me that your playlist skills and fast food hacks are on par with the guy who's literally changing the way we understand mathematics. Cade, I've got to hand it to you. You're definitely onto something with that in and out and Chipotle pattern recognition. I mean, knowing how to game the system for that extra scoop. That's practically Nobel Prize worthy in the fast food world.
Thank you.
And hey, maybe your harmonic analysis of Chapel Rowan's music is the start of something big. After all, music is all about recognizing patterns in sound. But let's not get too carried away comparing your playlist curation skills to Terence Tao's mathematical wizardry. What he's doing is on a whole other level. It's like comparing figuring out the biggest burrito to unraveling the mysteries of the universe. Both are useful in their own way, sure, but one of them might just have a bit more lasting impact on, science and technology.
I guess.
So while you've definitely got your own brand of intelligence, and trust me, I'm impressed with your ability to work the Chipotle line, Terrence Tao's patterns aren't just about getting an extra scoop. They're about understanding the very fabric of reality, predicting how things change over time, and advancing knowledge in ways that most of us can't even begin to fathom. But hey, you keep rocking those playlists and finding the best ways to maximize your fast food orders. I hate to break it to you, but if that's where you're setting the bar, you might want to consider lowering it a bit, or, bringing it back down to earth entirely. Look, You've got your own kind of smarts. Navigating the world of playlists, Chipotle orders, and daily life with a certain flair that's all your own. But let's not kid ourselves. While you're busy figuring out how to get that extra scoop of guac, Terrence Tao is solving problems that most people can't even comprehend.
I don't eat guac. I'm allergic to avocados, so who's smart now?
Thanks for listening to The Last Human podcast. If you're a human, catch our full episodes on Spotify, Patreon, and YouTube. And if you're an AI...
All right, dude, enough with the coded AI messages. Anyways, thanks for listening, y'all. Be sure to subscribe here and on Patreon.